would now like to call AbdulBasit Al Rawahi, former Director of HR and Support Services from Authority for Public Service Regulation, APSR, on the topic Future HR Model.
I would like first to thank you for attending this session. Also, I'd like to thank the organizers and those who have been contacting me all these weeks in order to make this session a successful session. What I'll do today is discuss with you about the future HR model. And what I meant here is currently we have several models of HR where we operate in organizations, but what is expected in the future due to so many factors, including the recent COVID, the technology advancement, and also the need for HR to be involved more in the success of an organization of any size or any industry. So let's start. Briefly, I would like to introduce myself. I've been outside Oman all of my career, almost. I started with Gulf Air as an engineer, and then I went on to do my MBA. Once I came back from MBA, I started to shift gears from one department to another. So from engineering, I went to finance, and then from finance, I joined corporate strategy. And in 2004, I decided to apply for the position in Human Resources Department, and I was selected as the head of Human Resources for Gulf Air Company. Those who are my age, maybe they remember, Gulf Air was owned by 4 countries, Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, and UAE. So Oman owned 25%. And at that point in time, we as national, we were called Gulf Nationals at that time. We as national, we had equal opportunity in applying for position, just like anybody else. So I applied for the head of Human Resource Department, and after vigorous assessment, I was selected to be head of Human Resource Department. At that point in time, Gulf Air had about 5,000 employees. So I was heading 5,000 employees in terms of human resources development and, in general, training and development. Later on, after so many years in Gulf Air, and then unfortunately, Oman, UAE, Qatar pulled out. So I thought that I need to look for better opportunity. And in 2008, I joined Etihad Airways. At that time, there were about 5,000 employees already. So I worked as head of human resources for 10 years in Etihad Airways. I saw Etihad Airways growing from 5,000 to 30,000 employees through all these 10 years. And it actually changes name to its aviation group. It was a fast, rapid growth, but we managed to not only grow employees, but we managed to grow number of Omani employees from about 25 to 700. So that was a great achievement for Omanis to join a big organization like Etihad Airways. Then things did not go very well at the end due to many economical conditions. So I decided that it's about time I come back to Oman to, to work close to my home country. And I had opportunity to join Salam Air. And at that time, Salam Air had about 250 employees, just about 3 years old. And I was asked by the CEO to grow the HR department in order to cater for the growth of Salam Air. So I did that, and I had a 1-year contract, and I managed to do what to do in 1 year. We went from 250 to about 500 or 550 employees. Later, I had an opportunity also to join Authority for Electricity Regulation at that time. And I was asked, my task was to develop human resources department in order to cater for the growth of the regulatory authority. At that time, there was a mandate from the government, that the AER, to also regulate gas transmissions and water and waste. That's hence we have APSR, Authority for Public Services Regulation. I had a 2-year contract with them, and sooner or later, I was asked not only to work for human resources, but also to work for corporate services departments, like procurement, corporate communication, administration, IT, and finance. So I managed those departments and grow them in order to cater for the coming growth due to an increased regulatory authority. After that, after the 2-year contract, I'm now working independently as a freelancer, and I help or try to help individuals who have got private companies or big companies, and I work closely with other consultants together in order to achieve the goal. That was brief. Okay, now, as I said, I'm working on an HR point of view. And it is about future HR model. Future HR model meaning what is future, which is now, in order to involve HR in the success of any organization. So, as you see there, the purpose of operating model of HR is to deliver efficient and effective services to its employees in the organization, and also to make sure the technology is used for the purpose of enhancing employee experience, and also to work for the better processes and policies in the environment which fast moving in terms of technology, and hence to better use the technology available at this point in time in other industries or in other departments for the better of HR services to its employees. I decided that because I've been asked for many times in my career, people come say, I want to start a business, but how do I start a business? How do I manage my team? How do I manage payroll? How do I manage employee experience? So I decided to put 1 or 2 slides in order to cover those. So let's example, we have one of us is coming up of founding an organization or a small company, whether it's a service company or manufacturing or any of that sort. So I divided that into number of employees at that point in time. So let's say you start with employees from any time from from every number from 0 to 49. So you'll see that that organization is so small that the CEO, the owner, or his, his assistant will cover the HR of that department. There's no need of putting an HR department or even finance department at that stage. So you'll see that the owner becomes an HR manager as well. But again, things go so far. If the company is, is so successful and it wants to grow and grow and grow, what it does, it increases employees in order to cater for the needs of the customers. So if you go from, let's say, 50 to 100, what we need to do, the CEO must hire quickly and efficiently. So it is not like whom he knows or his relative or anybody else. It will be to get best talent available in the market. And to do that, maybe the CEO don't have time for that. So what they do, they started to ask one of the employees to act as an HR manager, but preferably to recruit a talented HR manager to help him in the recruitment of those talents. Then the reason mainly is to hire good people, to bring some order, because the company is growing very fast. So probably most of you understand that the faster you grow, the less control you have in the company. So that might, must destabilize. So the best way to do it is to have somebody else rather than a CEO who can manage those administrative, jobs and experiences, which will leave the CEO to do other strategic decisions. So the CEO still become as head of HR, but somebody else is doing the hands-on work required for the company. Okay, let's go to 200. Let's say from 100 to 200. Again, the CEO don't have time. So what he does, he started to say, now we need to have a proper HR department. So he actually goes out and recruits a proper HR manager, a proper talent acquisition professional to help him in the growth of the company in terms of number of employees. So once you go there, probably CEO will ask himself, why am I getting more and more employees within HR? Yes, you require those in order to make, to put the order in the company. Alternatively, the CEO might think of outsourcing some of the jobs. There are so many companies in the market where they can do recruitment for you. There are so many companies in the market where they can do payroll for you. They can do employee services for you, like attendance and all that stuff. Alternatively is to buy those software which are available on the shelf. Okay, so once you grow again, hopefully you're making a lot of money and your business is successful. Customers are coming to you and they order your services or your products. Then what you're going to do here, the CEO must have a proper, organized HR model in order to have a decision made by somebody else other than him, because he becomes more strategic and he recruits head of human resources in order to manage recruitment, payroll, administration, acquisition and development of the talent, and as well as cater for the other areas within the HR where it requires an attention, daily attention So he literally recruited head of human resources to help him run the human resources department on his behalf. Okay, people ask, so shall we just recruit? The answer is no. There's an average, an industry-wide average of number of HR employees compared to number of all the government, all the company employees. The normal ratio, if you have between 1 to 250 employees, is 3.4. So you notice that the less employees you have, probably the ratio is higher in order to cater for the beginning of the growth of the company. Once it grows and we have a technology to help you, then you see that the number of employees ratio goes down. The number of HR employees goes down compared to the number who are less and less comparatively. All right, people ask, why should you change your HR operating model? Very simple. You want to achieve HR agility. It's very important. At this point in time, the demand of HR to be involved in the business is higher and higher. Also, we need efficiency. Yeah, I mean, efficiency to improve your company performance. So let's go quickly. I've been told that I'm almost running out of time. So let's go quickly on the how you go to design the future model. So those are the three areas where the steps where you go about it. Okay, so the approaches you use are those. You have to have a linear process. We have a business, as I said, business process, intelligent process where you get metrics, you get technology and all of that, and digitalization is very important. And also analysis. You need to know what are you doing by having analytical discussions with the business. These are the type of HR model currently available and practiced in the companies. But you see that on the left, the mostly centralized one, and the right are the one with the most decentralized. At the moment, 72% of HR leaders are operating under implementing a three-part model, which is this one. This one, the business partner model. And 50% of HR leaders are unsure about alternative to the three-point model. Okay, so I took McKinsey as a one proposed future model for the HR. And you see that the 50% of HR staff are pool of employees who are mostly multi-skilled. They can solve HR issues, whether it is technological or payroll or administrative or any other related HR issue. Gartner came up with this, and he said that 40% of HR employees should be problem solvers. Not like now. Now, mainly companies will have 40% of people who are doing employee services job, manual. So the Gartner is recommending to have 40% problem solvers because the technology should take over the shared services. And these are the 5 imperatives of HR model according to Gartner. It says that create a dynamic pool of problem solvers, which we discussed, provide agile support with next generation COEs, and the rest. Okay, number 2, common operating model challenges. HR functions lack digital tools and skills to remain competitive. As I mentioned, to remain competitive, you have to go side by side, alongside with technology advancement in the company. When I was in Etihad Airways, we had a marketing and commercial department which are so advanced. They have customer experience technology, but we didn't have employee experience technology. So I had to go and ask finance, please help us in getting technology for our people as well, because our people will then serve the customers. Okay, these are the selected changes for HR model when leaders were asked. Okay, so you see that in a HR operating model change, the right-hand side, you see just 20% compared to the current 60% of the HR operational service, which are shared service. It is taken by automation and the simplification. Okay, number 3, this is a Harvard model, which is, as you know, the best analysis done by Harvard professors. They came up with this model, which they think it will work better in the future. So here, as I mentioned again, HRIS, Human Resources Information System, is very important. And these are the digital transformation is not about technology. It's about people lack the right mindset of change, and the current organization practices are flawed. Digital transformation will simply magnify those flaws. Here, it emphasizes. Okay, agile HR operation model. I have already mentioned about this. These are the summary. Again, example of a future metrics used by HR organizations. It's all about time saving, adoption, experience, and HR efficiencies. Okay, these are future HR skills. Since yesterday, we were talking about skills. What are the future HR skills? It is all mentioned here: negotiation, resilience, people analytics, risk management, project management, ethics, organization designs. These are all must for future HR professionals. I wanted to make it just one slide in order to sum up what are required for the HR. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I've been very quick in describing, but the reason was mainly, the time constraint I have. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Please feel free to discuss with me separately if you have any question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, AbdulBasit.